You've seen the build up of the top box, but we're going to slow this clip right down and I'm going to take you through all the steps to show you how easy and simple it is to assemble. The first step is to open up the box, remove all the panels, locate that instruction manual and familiarize yourself with each one of the panels. That way you know exactly which panel goes where. Now I've removed all the panels out of the box and I've grouped them to their like size panels. Straight away I can see we've got 3 door panels here. They're all the same size, they're all symmetrical, which makes your assembly so much easier. We have our backing board. We also have our left side and our right side. Both those 2 panels are symmetrical. And then we have our divider shelf. Easy way to identify that is it's slightly smaller than your side panels and there's only one of them. There's just 2 panels that you really have to differentiate between, and that's the top and the base panel. Remember, this will be the front edge of the panels and the rough edge will be the back side. And ensure that the divider is on the right hand side. This is going to be the top panel and this will be the base panel. Just double check with the diagram to ensure you've identified the panels correctly. Panels out, we now need to sort our hardware. Having a look at our hardware, we have our hinges, director screws, 16mm screws for our hinges, panel pins to secure our backing board, dowel pins, cover stickers. As for the tools that you need for the assembly, the kit comes with an Allen key for the director screws, but you're also going to make use of a medium-sized Phillips screwdriver and a hammer. Before we start the assembly, we need to prep the panels. Now that means inserting the dowels into the top, base and divider panel. If you have a look at the top panel, you'll see on the edge there are 2 positions for 2 dowels. Pop it into position, 2 this side and 2 on the bottom. As for the divider panel, that also has 2 dowels in the middle on both sides. That's all our panels prepped. It's now time for the fun part, which is the assembly. Start off with your base panel. Take the front section and place that face down on a soft, smooth surface. Then take your divider panel, again with the cover strip facing down. Line those dowel holes up with the dowels and squeeze that together. Now the reason why I'm doing this on the floor face down is this way it's much easier to assemble. It keeps my hands free and everything stays up and square. You can now take your director screws, place them in on the back and secure them with the Allen key. That's secure exactly the same process, but now with the top panel. Make sure you get the orientation correct, cover strip facing down. Remember, this is all designed to easily connect together. You don't need to force any of the joints. If you are struggling a bit, just give it a bit of a jiggle and it should go together easily. Secure this side with the director screws. Now take one of your side panels, ensure the cover strip is facing down and the colored surface on the outside, and then secure the sides with the director screws. Don't forget to cover up the ends of your director screws with the cover stickers. Just line up the grain lines to match the panel. Exactly the same process with the other side panel. That's our box structure complete. It's now time to put on the backing board. And this is where we're going to use our panel pin nails. Take your backing board with the white side on the inside, natural on the outside. Now when inserting your panel pins, it's important that the pin drives through the center of the timber. If you put it too close to the edge, it's going to burst out and damage the surface of the timber. The structure is complete, the backing board is on. It's now time to assemble the hinges to the doors. It's very easy to fit the hinges. Just place them into the recess and secure them down with the screws into the pre-drilled holes. When it comes to installing the hinges, it can sometimes be a bit of a balancing act. I actually find it easier to take the unit and then just flip it up on its side, and that way you can bring in the door and then it just easily balances in place. You can line it up to the pre-drilled holes and drive those screws in. Exactly the same for the other side. When it comes to setting the hinges to align the door, there are 2 screws. We have a screw at the back to adjust the position of the door back and forth, and then we have a screw on the front which adjusts the angle of the door and from side to side. You'll see this door is very badly aligned. We need to pull this hinge over this way to close that gap and lift up that low side. The top box is complete and it really does complement the existing wardrobe. I've even added the handles to match. If you enjoyed this clip, like it, share it. You can also subscribe to our BuildersSA YouTube channel. There's a range of DIYs and how-tos just like this for you to be inspired, get to Builders, and get it done.